Well, and the crazy turn up for the books, that's a different voice on my Chromebook.
Oh, uh,
That completely took me by shock. So probably in the recording, you'll be like, huh? So what's
but she
going on?
doesn't come up in the recording.
Does she not?
No. So
Oh,
you're cheating on the Windows Zoom lady.
yeah, with my Chrome person.
Yeah.
Fun. Well, happy Ashes Eve, Jamie. We're finally here. The Trashes is almost over. There's actually going to be some Licrick that is going to be starting. We've already had our chat. I know you're not going to be getting up at 4 a.m., but how excited are you?
Um, yeah, yeah.
McCullum quoted, not this week, but I think it's ages ago. We might have already spoken about this. He said this series is going to be the biggest series of our lives. Would you agree?
No.
What would you say is the biggest series of cricketing lives?
I think of the Ashes, like
Mm,
if you go back to like, was it 2005?
mm,
When you had like a team of Australian legends and
yeah.
like Peterson was around, Flintoff was around.
Hmm.
Um, then like a few years later when England were #1 in the world and had probably the best team of all time. And
England.
now, yeah, England's best team of all time, not the
Okay, I thought you meant okay,
best.
okay, okay. I just wanted to double check that you weren't saying that was the best team of all
No,
time.
like the
Okay,
Flower era team
okay, okay, okay,
was
okay.
probably England's best
Yeah,
team of
I'd
all
agree with
time,
that. Yeah,
not the best team, full stop.
yeah, ever. Yeah, yeah. Okay, cool.
And now we're going into this Ashes series not knowing who Australia's opener is going to be. Uh, and like Zach Crawley's around. We don't know if Bashir's going to start.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't think it feels like the biggest Ashes series ever, and that's because it doesn't isn't. It's how can it be?
Because money and media, but I feel yeah, I think the last Ashes series was really good when it was 2-2. I thought that was a very goodly contested series between two very kind of opposite sides. With England's approach and then Australia's kind of normal pragmatic one. I think it's just being built up because of the whole Baziball narrative
Mhm,
that they've built this team from 2022 to now with this clear plan that it's about this tour. As much as they're saying now, being like, "Oh, it's not about this tour. It's just a process. It's this team's been built for this tour." So I guess it's like the finale of all of that to see like, are they actually going to compete
mhm,
in conditions where they might have an upper hand because of injuries we'll come to and that kind of stuff. I'd agree it's probably not the biggest series of our lives. I do think maybe '05 was, maybe not beforehand. Maybe it wasn't as billed as much. I mean, I was 11 or 10 or but like before that, that was a great Australia team, maybe slowly creeping towards the end,
mhm,
but still formidable. But England went into that series with a lot of confidence as well. So maybe there are kind of similarities and contrasts. I think Smith said or Steve Smith, should I say, that he hopes that this series will match that level of
mhm.
intensity and hype and interest. So we'll see.
But
But
like
I think,
players and coaches are going to say that
of course they are.
regardless.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, from my perspective, as a biased England fan, I think it's the series I've most looked forward to in Australia
Mhm,
for a long time. The last time was during COVID, which was utterly depressing. Before that, you had a series where Stokes didn't even go because you had all that kind of incident of the Bristol stuff, and we took we had a team which had a middle order of people like James Vince in there
mhm,
and Mark Stoneman opening the batting. It was kind of just like what happened with that series. And then the series before was the whole KP fallout where they lost 5-0 Mitchell Johnson. So there's not been a lot of kind of Ashes series to look forward to. And I think I'm looking forward to this one. Not necessarily that England going to win,
mhm.
but I think it will be interesting to see how this plan they've conjuncted together is going to play out this time.
Yeah, like it's been similarly constructed to the 2019 World Cup. They have been
Yeah,
building towards this as their specific goal with this squad in mind.
yeah, for
So
sure.
it will be interesting to see how it all pans out,
Yeah,
regardless of anything. Like I'm sure the entertainment value will still be there, but
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
questioning the quality.
I'll be interested to see how many games actually go to 4 days, let alone five.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, we have got news for team news and cricket news, all that kind of stuff. So in between our last recording, there was a warm-up game which England played against the England Lions, which has obviously been a hot topic of conversation in
Training
terms of
game.
England's preparation, their training game. Yeah, not a first-class game, and they had no first-class fixtures for this tour, which I can understand the reasons why, but I understand criticism against. Um, the schedule is complete nonsense. I don't know why New Zealand white ball tour was scheduled on the eve of an Ashes series when they could have potentially come out here a month earlier. And even if they were playing a B side, at least it's more cricket in Australia. But that's revenue and money. But regardless, they played that game or their training inter squad game. There were runs for Pope, who got 100 and a 90 in his 2 innings. Um, Runs for Stokes and wickets for Stokes. So Stokes got 80 odd and then 6 for bowling bounces. Um, what else happened? Will Jacks got 80 odd and a couple of wickets.
Come on down.
Um, come on down. Mark Wood bowled 8 overs and had a hamstring scare and then bowled for the rest of the game, but apparently he's fine. I think Duckett and Crawley put on like 180 odd. So there's their main takeaway from that game is that they got miles in the legs. It wasn't about
Mhm.
results or anything like that. I think they won by 7 wickets, or who cares? um, but there's some good line performance as well. Ben McKinney got runs opening the batting, which is cool. So yeah, it's there's stuff to be happy about, but I wouldn't read anything into it whatsoever. So that's done. But, so the actual cricket starts tomorrow, and there's team news from both camps. The England one first. I think I told you that
Yeah,
yesterday. So
I
England, yeah, England have a 12-man squad, which is kind of unlike what they would normally do, where they would announce the team 2 days before. They still haven't announced the team today, so they'll actually announce that at the toss, which is completely unstokesy. Um, Probably because of the pitch and probably due to the Mark Wood kind of
mhm.
fitness questions. But yeah, the 12 they've announced are Crawley, Duckett, Pope, Root, Brook, Stokes, Jamie Smith, Gus Atkinson, Brian Cast, Jofra Archer, Mark Wood, and Shoaib Bashir. I did that off the top of my head, so I'm thinking that's 12.
I wasn't counting.
But I think that's 12. That makes sense.
Yeah, let's say it's 12.
Yeah. So it's obviously going to be, I think it's between Bashir and Wood,
Mhm.
depending on how Wood comes up tomorrow after a couple of days training and whether they think the pitch will dry out and break up a bit like it did for the India test last year. But it's also worth noting that Nathan Lyon is the highest wicket taker on at this ground. So although it's being built up to be quick and bouncy and good for seamers, um, I still think it's probably worth playing a spinner. Whether or not they will, we'll see. Thoughts on that 12?
I think, like you said, it's dependent on whether Wood's fit.
Mm-hmm.
And I would think, even if spin is a good option, and I think you should have a spinner in the team.
Yeah,
I think if Wood's fit, Wood will play over Bashir.
yeah.
And
Oh, I
I
think so.
think that'll end up being a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Ponting came out yesterday or today, whatever it was, saying that England should be playing Bashir. But whether that's 4D chess, um, remains to be seen. But yeah, I think they've had penciled in for this game for a long time that they've wanted Wood and Archer to play the first game and to basically hit Australia hard. But whether that means you then can't necessarily play, Bashir over Cast or
Mhm.
Atkinson. But I think given the injury records of nearly every single one of those bowlers, um, I think if you're going to play Wood, it's probably best that he's part of a 5-man seam attack rather than where he's one of the 3 prime seam
Mhm.
bowlers with a spinner and then Stokes. So it probably makes sense if you're going to play Wood to play 5 seamers.
And I think with it being a hamstring scare,
Mm,
that makes more sense to rest him for this first game, not
mm,
risk anything to do with the hamstring.
yeah,
Because if that goes now,
yeah,
he's probably done for the whole
yeah,
series.
for sure. And like they'll probably, I wonder if they think it is it at the point because he was cleared completely of the hamstring, so there wasn't any issues at all. So they'll be thinking, well, he's fit, he's ready to go, he should play. But I mean, Brisbane's a day-night game, and I think Wood in that game would be pretty effective with his speed and the pink ball and the swing, like in the
Mhm.
same way Stark is. So there is a bit of a gap between the first and second test, but it's difficult. You kind of want to
It's
make sure you win the first game or try and win the first game rather than look to the second.
yeah, I think it's just don't take any risks with it,
Mm,
even if it's been cleared. Because if
yeah,
something's gone past the medical staff and
mm,
he does tweak it,
yeah. Then
you're
he's gone. Yeah,
without Mark Wood, then
yeah,
eh,
yeah.
I think it's just the
It's
safest
frustrating.
option. And if that means that England get a spinner in on a pitch where spinners have done well,
Yeah,
then I think it makes sense
yeah,
for both medical reasons and tactical reasons
hmm
to let Wood sit this one out and put Bashir in,
yeah.
which just all like just everything about that makes me believe England will just play Mark Wood.
Oh, 100%. I've got to say to you the other day, like by our pod we did 2 weeks ago, I pretty much predicted this team
Mhm.
and said Bashir will play over Wood. But everything I'm hearing now is that Wood's going to play. Like there's an interview again with McCullum where he said that, oh, even if Bashir misses out this game, he will definitely still have an opportunity in this series, which to me says he's
Yeah,
not playing this game. So yeah, we'll see. But I would be surprised now if Bashir does play. But happy if he does because I would have been right. But that's neither here nor there. So yeah, we'll see. It's interesting times. I'm kind of glad that the whole Pope Bethel thing is settled and Pope's got runs, and I think he should have always started anyway. But see how he goes. Um, I don't know. It just feels weird that it's tomorrow. I'm like, oh, oh no, I don't know if I'm ready for this. um, yeah, I've not really. We've just kind of spoken to England about to death for the last two preview episodes we've done. Have you got anything else to say about that team?
it does not inspire confidence, but uh,
Big series for Root. Big series for Root. Big vibes.
mhm, yeah,
Yeah. Um, Australia, though, on the flip side, I don't know if you've seen this, have announced their 11.
I haven't seen anything about
Yeah,
it.
so that they actually confirmed that earlier today. So I will get it for you. Um, I don't think I'm kind of not surprised and a little bit surprised.
Mhm,
So they have given two debuts. Um, so one of which will be going to Jake Weatherald, who will be opening the batting with Usman Khawaja, and Brendan Doggett, who will be playing as the seamer now. Hazelwood is injured because
mhm,
since our last pod, Hazelwood is out of this test. Cummins is out of this test. Hazelwood, I would be shocked if he played in the series.
mhm,
Whilst with Cummins, they've been very kind of like, oh, he'll play a part. He'll be back probably the next game. He's bowling again. There's just kind of been radio silence over Hazelwood. So I'd be quite dubious as to whether he has a big role in this series at all now. Because when he goes injured, he's kind of injured for a while. But
mhm,
I could be proven wrong. Um, so if I can do this from memory as well. So it's Kawaja, Weatherald, um, Marnus Labuschagne, Smith, Travis Head, Cameron Green, Alex Carey, Mitchell Stark, Brendan Doggett, Scott Boland, and Nathan Lyon. So kind of all it structurally makes much more sense than the questions we had before, whether or not it was going to be
mhm,
Marnus opening and squeezing in, Bo Webster and having Cam Green batter through. So I think that makes it look like a much stronger side,
mhm.
um, rather than flitting around with different batting orders and stuff. So there's that kind of certainty now. Thoughts on that?
I think it probably slightly edges England in terms of quality, but not having Cummins and Hazelwood could also be a really big defining factor of the game. Like, I don't think it would be harsh to expect anything of Weatherall and Doggett, but
Yeah,
like the rest of the team is incredibly experienced and incredibly talented, so there shouldn't really be any pressure on those two to perform. And yeah, it just feels really even between the two teams.
I think so. Yeah, the injuries of Cummins and Hazelwood
Mhm.
definitely makes the gap much smaller
Yeah.
for sure.
If they had one of those two, I'd give more of an edge to Australia.
Yeah, yeah, especially in those conditions. And you still got Mitchell Stark playing. You got Scott
Mhm.
Boland, who's unplayable in Australia, and you've got Nathan Lyon. I guess the question would be is whether, because England went and attacked Poland in the 23 Ashes, although
Mhm.
it was an England of flat pancakes. If they were to attack Poland in the same way in this series and get after him, and then dog it on debut, if he was maybe a bit shaky on debut and then got away, you're then really relying heavily on Stark and Lyons to the bulk of the bowling. Cameron Green, I think, only bowled a handful of overs in Shield cricket last week, and he's not bowled at all for the rest of the year. So that's also a lot of stress on him.
Mhm.
Um, I think the game plan for England would be to attack the debutant, so obviously with Doggett, and try and get him hit out of the attack basically with that kind of pressure. I think that's the way they'll play it. And the same with Boland, just to make them go and rely on Stark and Lyon with the absence of Cummins and Hazelwood. If they're going to do a bulk load, that won't be good for their kind of injury and setup and stuff. But this is when Doggett's going to rock up and take 5 for 6,
Yeah.
and it doesn't really matter. But
Yeah. And I was going to say the same with Weatherald as well. I'm sure the plan is to bowl as much as
oh,
at
for
him
sure.
as early as possible.
Yeah.
And then he's
Yeah.
naturally going to get 100.
Yeah, undoubtedly, in the kind of Warner style. But hypothetically, you can feel like there's real, tangible kind of openings there for England,
Hmm.
where Khawaja is under pressure. He's got no runs really this year. Weatherall's on debut, so you could really make a quick dent in the top of the order. Marnus has got a point to prove after being dropped,
Hmm.
so he would want to make runs. I know he's made runs domestically, but international is different. Smith is captaining, so he's standing captain this time, so there's pressure on him. Travis Head's not really scored many. Karen Green's back from now a bowling or back to all rounder rather than just a batter. So there's absolutely cracks there, and obviously cracks in the bowling as well. So you'd say on paper
Hmm.
there is there's hope. It's gleaming. We could grab that. But there's been too many
Yeah.
Australia tours where you see that. And Hazelwood was injured the last time. Then they brought in Scott Boland, and he's got 6 for 9 or whatever at the G. So it's yeah, it's you can see both sides. That's why I think it's going to be a good series, and this is quite a good start because
Mhm.
I think it does even the playing field. But these players obviously play in Australian conditions all the time. England don't. Um, so yeah, that's a lot of a ramble. My internalized thoughts going ahead of each other. So I guess that's why it makes it interesting because I think there's ways in that you can see England could win or make dents, but
Yeah,
also
like you can
Australia
see
being Australia.
where the narratives could unfold.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I think one of the main positives for England is my final takeaway is that
Mhm.
so far, apart from that dodgy scare of Wood, everyone is still fit. Mark Wood is still fit, so Mark Wood is technically he's available and fit for the game. Archer is fit. Cast is fit. They couldn't have asked for any other bowlers that they would have wanted for this series. They got everyone at their disposal they would have picked hypothetically. So I think that's the good thing. And seeing Archer bowl in Australia, I think it's going to be quite hype.
Yeah.
I think we've said many times over the years that we never thought that would happen. So the fact that will happen is quite cool.
And it's going to be
But yeah,
as England's leading bowler. He's
yeah,
got to be the leader of that attack,
100%.
which is
Yeah,
mental.
yeah. He's played 2 tests in what is it, 4 years?
That doesn't seem long enough. It feels like it's been
Probably
two
long, yeah.
tests in 10 years, but
Yeah, it'll be him and Atkinson, which if you had told me that 2 years ago, I'd have been confused.
I'm still
Um,
confused about it.
but yeah, we're cool. Yeah, do you want to do any kind of very quick predictions, which will mean nothing in 4 weeks' time? And I can just throw some questions at you,
Mhm.
and you can answer with your just very quick gut reaction instinct answers.
Sure. Just as a pre-warning, I'm hungry, so my gut reaction might.
Okay, I might hear that gut reaction.
Yeah,
Okay. So we do it for England and Australia.
cool.
So for England first, uh, England leading run scorer for the series.
Gut is saying Stokes.
Stokes.
Yeah,
Be stoked for that. Um, um, Australia leading run scorer.
Marnus.
Minus. Oh, to be honest, that would be so annoying. Um, leading wicket take for England.
Oh God, that's difficult because I think there's going to be a load of rotation.
Hmm.
Um, Cars.
I agree. To fair, I think that'd be yeah, agree. And leading wicket taker for Australia,
Stark.
Stark. Yeah, I think that's fair. And then overall, what do you think the scoreline would be?
We don't have to do that. That's fine. We don't have to do the scoreline prediction. That's
Hypothetically, or do you want to? Okay, but you still, I think you said earlier, so we don't have to say scoreline, but you said you still think Australia would win overall, right?
I think it's going to be 3-1 Australia.
3-1 Australia. I'll go
That
3-2 England. I can't see England winning more than two. I just
no,
don't
yeah,
see how they do more than two.
yeah, I agree.
Um, but yeah,
I don't know where the like no result is coming for the 3-1, but
they keep saying it rains in Sydney, but I'm like, I will see, I guess.
no, I'm just feeling a
I can't see
draw
there being a
somewhere.
draw.
I don't know
Yeah,
why. I just like maybe it's
I
going to
would.
be Sydney. Maybe Sydney
Yeah, I would just really
trains
love it.
them.
It's not going to happen, but I would love there to be a scenario where it's 2-1 England going into the last test, and they have to bat for a draw to win the series, which is so anti the Stokes McCullum
Yeah.
thing. They've set 650 to win over the last 2 days, and all their ethos and everything beforehand being like, oh, we're going to go chase everything, we're going to win all the games.
hmm
I want to see their ego be like, no, we'll bat out for the draw.
That yeah,
I
it'll
think
be interesting and exciting
yeah,
to watch it.
yeah, that's my hope, but
Yeah,
that will never happen.
I might get up for
Um,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to see them play Park the Bus. Um, but yeah, I think that's most of the Ashes chat. The last thing I want to talk about because it's our last talk before the actual cricket starts, and I've already spoken to you about this today,
Mhm.
but we have our final bit of trashes talk, which is
Oh,
nice.
sick. Yeah, let's bring it
Yeah.
on. Love this.
So Monty, our beloved Monty, said I think last week that England should target Smith um, as a standing captain and make sure they bring up Sandpapergate and stuff again to really get him under his skin and really just make it difficult for him, which I think is not really what this team would do. Which I think was cool was like that happened last week. I was like, okay, that's just classic Monty cares. And then Smith brings it up. Well, so Smith is asked about it at the press conference today. What do you think about this from Monty? Um, and then then Smith goes right into the bring up the whole mastermind and being like, "Well, I'm not going to take anyone who thinks that Oliver Twist is a season of the year." Like it's just like, what do you think of that press conference and that reaction from Smudge?
Uh, I mean, firstly, I think anyone who takes anything Monty Panesar says seriously should probably be put in an insane asylum because they'll be on Monty's level.
Yeah,
But I think Smith has just kind of tried to play it. It's weird because he's obviously looked into that mastermind
this is the thing. Yeah,
thing, but like after that, like I wouldn't expect a response. I think it just comes off as a bit of comical banter and
yeah,
it's like I kind of think it's weird for Monty to have brought that up in the first place. It feels like a weird,
yeah.
like it's happened, let it go. It's a weird,
Happened in 2017
yeah,
or 2018.
a, s- it's a bit of a low blow for a dig.
Yeah, yeah.
But
We've
like
been there.
I'm,
It's all
but
done.
the Barmy Army probably wouldn't give a shit and
Probably,
they'll
yeah.
sing about that. So,
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
but
But yeah, like you say, I think it's just interesting that he was very much ready with those very specific answers that Monty gave to those mastermind questions. Monty responded, which I think I should also share to you, because obviously the BBC phoned him up to get an interview. There's a very small quote. I think he also mentioned in his whole interview that he thought it was a good thing that Smith brought it up because he's obviously
Mhm,
more focusing on that and that's going to take up more of his mental strength to think about that rather than actually think about the Ashes,
mhm.
which I think is just nonsense, but it's fine. But the main quote that was given from Monty, while we talk about Monty on the
Oh,
Ashes
who
Eve,
knows?
the main quote that's given from Monty was, "We've both made mistakes. I made mine on a quiz show. He made his on a cricket field." which I think is quite a fairly decent response. But I think Monty's made more mistakes than just on Mastermind. But that's
Yeah, did he not urinate on a?
he did, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
It's a weird feud that I wasn't expecting, but I'm here for it.
yeah, and
This
I
is
hope it
my
continues the
Ashes.
entire series. That's what now. I really hope that's what England bring out the sledging, not sandpaper. They just ask him random mastermind questions. Monty was asked during
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
like throughout the
I
series.
was just
Like,
thinking that. That's
yeah, please. So yeah, we'll see. Athens, Monty. um, right. Our last little Ashes segmenty thing. We were going to do a feature. Do you want to introduce it, or should I introduce it?
you can introduce it. It's your
I guess.
idea.
I suppose. Yeah. I'm hoping it'll work. So obviously England have got their squad, and we thought we would pick not necessarily a squad, but a team, an 11, and we were going to basically play that alongside the Ashes series against the
Mhm.
same Australia team via the wonderful technology of Cricket Captain, which you're obviously a big fan of, Jamie.
The
And also big
biggest
shout
of
out
that.
because they they do also follow us on the social media. So big shout out to them. So I'm wondering how to do this because I should every player be different to what's in the squad, or would you have any crossover? Would we say that Stokes would be a given in any team, or would we say we want completely separate?
So I think we pick whoever is available for the first test.
Okay, including who's ever in the squad at the moment.
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, are you sharing your screen?
I am trying to, but it's all over the place.
This is live tech stuff. Oh, I see. Oh.
Yeah, we can cut that bit out. That's
Okay, right. But I can see you've got like a 1 to 11.
yes. Okay,
Okay, nice. Okay,
let's
right.
go.
So we can talk about who's in there at the moment. So our openers in the real world, Ben Duckett and Zach Crawley.
Mhm.
Are you keeping either of those? I would feel
I
like
think
Duckett
Duckett
you'd
is
keep.
a main. Yeah, he's got to be in there, right?
Yeah.
Um, I think anyone who's listened to the pod knows I wouldn't have Crawley in there.
For the sake of the argument, I'm not going to have Crawley in there. I think Crawley and Duckett do come as a pair, but I'm happy to accept another one. Who would you have instead?
Hamid.
I could never have saw that coming. I know I know you're the biggest Hamid fan. He had a very good county
Yeah.
championship this year. I think he's a better player than he was when he last toured Australia. I think Ben McKinney is definitely the next cab off the rank. Um, but yeah, let's have Hamid.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not taking anything else for that. Like, you could have made a really good point for anyone else. Like, Dom Sibley's had a surprisingly good season when I was looking at the stats before. Like,
Yeah,
it's high score of 300 and averaging in the 60s.
it's worth having a
But,
look. But yeah,
no, Hamid.
Hamid, that's fine. Okay. Um, number three. So obviously at the moment it is Ollie Pope.
Mhm.
I'm interested what your thought would be on this one.
Well, I think it's a difficult one to find someone else for.
Hmm.
Like, the only other names I could think of would be Will Jacks, Bethel, and Tom Haynes. But I
Yeah, or
don't
you've got
think
yeah.
any of them really fit in as a number three. Like Bethel has played there, but
Hmm.
it's difficult. And if you want to put Jacks in, I think three's a little bit too high in the
I think
order.
Jacks would be three. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
like
it's
it.
I like this is also where my knowledge of county cricket does fall down somewhat because I can't remember. Rayan, I know he's not.
Mhm.
I know he's not necessarily available, but Rayan Ahmed was batting up the order in the county championship this year, opening and batting three.
Yeah.
So if we did want to make any kind of exceptions to the rule, we could have Rayan in there.
No, I think
Um,
I would definitely put Rayan in there if he was fit. But
yes, got to stick to them rules.
yeah.
I really like, yeah, someone like, but I don't even, Sam Hain. I'm a big fan of Sam Hain, but I don't think Sam Hain bats three for
Yeah.
Warwickshire. Someone
Mhm.
will be able to tell me or not. But um,
I
but then
like
again, this is
yeah.
our team, and I don't care. Go on.
I don't know. It's it's more of a case of I don't know who else to put there.
Yeah.
Like three seems the most difficult position to select for
Always,
in general.
always.
So
Um,
like we could always go Brooke three and put Jackson at five or something mad like that.
I don't think we can have Brook at three. Um,
This is our squad. We
let
can
me
do
just have a
whatever we
quick.
want.
True. There's a few ones, maybe a few other things I would give a bit of a
Mhm,
shout out to. James Rue at Somerset, who's
mhm,
going to be an up and coming keeper batsman. I think he's good. Um, John Simpson, who's now at Sussex, is another wicket keeper, but also a very good batter.
mhm.
So Johnson's got average of 60 over the last season with 1,000 runs. Um, you've also, yeah, Rue, um, averages 45, 1,000 runs. Libby of Worcestershire, 1,000 runs, average of 44. Tom Abel's quite an interesting one, who's always
Mhm.
kind of been on like a very good
Yeah.
county player, but never quite made it over. I'm always quite a big fan of Tom Abel. He got an average of 50 and 1,000 first class runs. Dan Lawrence, average of 54, 922 runs. So just, and obviously Tom Haynes as well, as you mentioned. So there's a few other options there if you wanted to go a bit kind of county left field.
Yeah, I'd like to go left field. I'll leave the actual name up to you because
Oh, big decision. I'm going to say, I, let's go, let's go James Rue.
okay, how
It
am I
might be a bit
spelling
high
that?
for him. Just REW.
REW sick.
He for all of
Okay.
our listeners, they're probably screaming, being like, "He doesn't bat three." It's our team.
Yeah,
This is how it's the only way he gets into the team. So he's
yeah,
if you
like
want him there, he's there.
he's in.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. So Root, obviously.
yeah, I
Um.
wasn't. It's not even a discussion, is it? I don't think these
Yeah, I
next
don't think Brook
two.
is either. Yeah, so and Stokes, sure.
And is Smith a discussion?
I think Smith is a very, very good bat. I think he has fallen away in terms of form recently, but when he's at his best, I think he's very good. Is he one of the best batters in the current game? Like I said, John Simpson's had a very, very good
Mhm.
county championship this year. He's very dependable, but I think the ceiling of Smith is really, really high. So I think it's got to be Smith.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Bowlers are interesting. Um,
I mean,
should we go with this?
I think we just
Joff. You
put
want Joff?
in, yeah, the
Joff, yes,
definite
fine.
call of Archer.
Yeah. Um, I would quite like Tongue in there.
That's great. Tongue was in my squad as well. Like
Okay, cool.
because he also clears up the tail as well,
Yeah,
which could be really
for
important.
sure. So we need a spinner and another
I'm happy
pacer.
with Cars to just go in there.
I'm a big fan of Cast, also a big fan of Potts, but I think
Yeah.
Cast just edge it in Australia, I would say.
Yeah. And I think with Woods' potential to get injured in this game
Yeah.
after the slight scare,
And Cast does
I
bat a wee
would
bit.
just be really cautious with that.
Yeah. Um, spinner.
Who knows?
So options would be Liam Dawson,
Mhm.
Jack Leach, Will Jacks, Shoaib Bashir. Um, I think you've also got James Coles at Sussex, who is
Mhm.
also a spinner. I think they've got an eye on. So I think he had a fairly decent season last year. May have also made that up. Um, I'm just double checking for you now, so if he is actually on the top wicket takers. Can't see him. But I keep hearing him as a potential future England spinner.
Mhm.
But so oh, here you go. So he got yeah. So it was only 26 wickets at 39. So I'm not sure why he's been talking about, but maybe he's good. Maybe he's good. I don't know enough.
Who knows?
Um, Don Bess is there. The spin options would be Dawson, Bashir, uh, Jax, Tom Hartley, Leach. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Is there any of those that you would like particularly?
I, I'm always kind of slightly drawn back to Leach.
Dependable, isn't he? I feel like
Yeah,
he's got more experience at the test level than others do. Can hold an end.
and I think with this kind of like newish
Hmm.
attack, like especially considering there's no Broad or Anderson
Yeah.
for this series, it would probably be beneficial to have a spinner that can just hold an end.
Yeah.
be economical,
Yeah.
especially if like we've got injury concerns as well, which
Yeah.
even
We
if
do.
the bowlers, yeah, even if they're fit, they've got a history. So
Yeah. So we're going to go Leach.
I would be tempted with Leach, but I'm open to having my mind changed.
I just don't think any of the others. So we saw Dawson play in the Manchester Test. I don't think he really did enough to say that
Mhm,
he's a Test quality bowler. He does add a bit with the batting, but I do think Leach is the better bowler, and Somerset would also agree by playing him ahead of Bashir.
mhm.
Um, you've also got Jack, who I think might be the next person after Bashir if Bashir doesn't do well in Australia. But I would be conservative and go for Leach personally.
Yeah, sick.
So that's our team. So what we will do, I will chuck that into the old cricket captain, and play the same Australia team that Australia have picked, and then at the end of the first test, whenever the first test finishes, we will see how the Just Not Cricket team got on against Australia, whether they did better
Oh
or whether
wait,
they did
we
worse.
forgot one thing, and
Go
that
on,
is
Joffrey captain.
yeah, there we go.
I can put Joffrey as
We
captain into the system. That's fine.
I mean we don't have to. That's just a
I don't think it makes any shred of difference, but we can give it a go. But yeah, stay tuned for that. Cool. But yeah, I think that does conclude our Ashes, Trashes, and Just Not Crick team chat. So we are now going to go to a guest. They're not going to be quite here yet, but when you next hear us, we will be interviewing or speaking to our next guest. We've now got our second guest ever on Just Not Crick Pod, of Wicket Whippets fame. Also a winner of our very first trophy this year as well. We have Ayush joining us on Just Not Crick Pod. Welcome, Ayush. We already said
Hello,
hello, but
hello.
hello.
Thanks for having me on.
You're welcome. Did you want to talk a little bit about your award at all, or not? Or do you want to just quickly move on?
Well, I won it for getting out for a duck 6 times in the season more than anybody else. So I guess that makes me an award-winning cricketer.
Yeah.
yeah. That's something to be
Um,
proud of.
yes, I mean I will take solace in my 10 dismissals as wicketkeeper in
Yeah.
the season and conveniently forget about the ducks.
But it was shared between catches and stumpings, wasn't it? You got quite a. I feel like our first season, you said you hadn't got many stumpings. Was that right? And then I feel like you got quite a lot this year.
Yeah, this year I've been a bit more aggressive with standing up to the
Yeah.
stumps, wearing a few body blows, and just generally getting a bit over enthusiastic about stumpings.
Well, there's that recording, isn't there? And that one, like one of the games you share, when you completely demolish the stumps. That's what I like to see is when it's just like the plastic stumps just thrown everywhere.
Yeah, I treat the stumps like they've hurt me personally or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Well, Jamie's also a wannabe keeper, aren't you, Jamie?
Yeah, the emphasis on wannabe.
Yeah, I
Have
think
you got any? Go on.
yeah, we shared the gloves,
Yeah, we
Jamie.
did.
I think yeah, was it 2 years ago? I think in Marble Hill Park.
Yeah, I think second Whippet season.
Yeah, it would have been.
Yeah, we had
Yeah,
Johnny
one
over
of
siege,
them.
didn't
Yeah,
we? Yeah.
one of the many long days at Marble Hill Park, which I tried to forget. But no, cool. So we're going to talk a little bit about kind of touring and stuff. But I mean, me and Jamie have spoken a little bit already about Ashes. But are you feeling Ashes fever? Are you?
A little bit, yeah. I for the last week have been down several YouTube rabbit holes of various podcasts and interviews, and in fact, just waiting to join the call. I was watching Stuart Broad on Channel 7 in Australia. They just
Classic.
put a video on YouTube. So yeah, I'm a little obsessed with the build-up more than the cricket itself,
Yeah.
just because I'm dreading the cricket a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah. It's felt like there's been so much. I've been the same. I've been down so many kind of cricket podcast rabbit holes and stuff. I've had to like put a stop and be like, actually, what ones am I actually enjoying, and what ones I'm listening to just because I'm listening to it. But yeah, the build up for this, I just feel like it's been going on for about 3 months.
Yeah, it,
So,
it has gone on a bit. I mean, I think that first ball is going to be interesting because there's a bit of history now with the first ball, like Rory
Yeah.
Burns bowled behind the legs, then Zach Crawley crunching
Yeah.
Pat Cummins for four. I think there might be another installment in that.
I'm just hoping England bowl first. That's my hope. I don't think I can take another wicket first ball or like a Crawley edge to second slip trying to go for another drive. I just want to save like Archer just outside off stump, which Khawaja leaves and can just move on with our life.
I'm going to be a bit more selfish. I'd like Archer, top of off, does Khawaja for pace.
I mean, I'd love that. I can't see it happening, but I'd love
No,
it.
we're gonna bat first, and Zach Crawley is gonna be the first wicket of the Ashes. First over. It's gonna be a Rory Burns-esque repeat.
Oh.
I
I mean,
sense a lot of optimism on the score.
we're ready. Oh
Yeah.
no, yeah. I think we're just so tired from the build-up. But I feel like if you're Australia, I mean, we didn't talk about this before, Jamie, but I think the consensus normally would be to bat first. But I feel like if you're Australia, I feel like you want to bowl first. I feel like because England want to chase, with Stokes' words, and I feel like England want to bowl first. I think making them bat first kind of just shakes it up a bit. So I don't know if it's as clear cut as just Australia having a bat. So I think maybe both teams want to bowl. I think it's going to be quite spicy wicket as well. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Australia could do that just to put England off their usual game plan.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
think doesn't
imagine
hurt.
Australia have a usual game plan to always chase like Bazball does.
No. But no, I'm excited. Do you have any kind of predictions, or are you just the sense of dread?
Just a sense of dread, really. I don't. I avoid predictions because
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a superstitious person in general, but for some reason, when it comes to sport, I tend to get fairly superstitious. Like when Stokes was going nuts at Headingley in 2019, I did not move from the sofa, like just frozen in place, like don't move any like. So yeah, I don't know what happens to me in sports. I don't make predictions usually.
I think that's wise. Yeah, I remember the Stokes innings like horribly well because I was working that day, which was just horrific. And I just sort of had cricket info. I was at a call center, so I had like my calls on one screen and just like cricket info just uploading and re-loading on the other screen. And just it got to a stage where it was just like against line, it's just like 6-6-6. I was like, oh, okay, what's happening now? And I remember like he got down to like 20 to win. And I just had to quickly say like, oh, I've actually got to go check some lost property. I'll be back in like 20 minutes, and just sort of hidden like a like spare like classroom for like a while just to watch the end. There's just a sense of dread. And then having to go back in the office afterwards and pretend to be like calm and collected, like we've just watched the best innings of all time, being like, oh yeah, I'll take the next call, no problem. It's just it was just a bizarre day. So yeah, I don't think I've got too many superstitions. Are you going to be Jamie's going to have a lie-in tomorrow, but are you going to be getting up watching it or staying up? Do you have a plan?
Well, I wasn't planning on staying up, but then last night I got carried away playing Zelda, and I was up till like 3 a.m. unintentionally, which
Yeah.
meant I had a lie-in this morning because I'm off work at the moment. I'm a freelancer
Yeah.
and I've got a bit of downtime, so routine's gone out of the window.
Nice.
So I had a lie-in this morning, which now makes me think I'm probably going to stay up and watch
Yeah.
at least the first hour.
Yeah.
More importantly, which Zelda game?
Breath of the Wild.
Cool, nice.
I haven't played any Zelda, so
No, I've played about half an hour of Breath of the Wild.
Is that a new one, or is that I don't know?
I honestly couldn't tell you. I'm not that
Yeah.
much of a gamer. My friend literally gave me his Nintendo Switch and he said,
Oh, nice.
yeah, play some games. And he gave me Zelda. And
Cool.
I bought Cricket 24. So Cricket 26, sadly, is not, at least not yet coming out for the Switch.
On the
But
Switch. Yeah.
Cricket 24 does exist. So I've
Yeah.
played quite a bit of that and been
Yeah.
useless at that as well.
Yep. Me and Jamie have quite a long history of like Big Ant Studio cricket games. Jamie is
Unfortunately,
a big fan.
we can move on if we want.
Because
Anything but Cricket 24.
Sure. Well, we could talk about touring. Because I thought it would be quite a nice segue because obviously it's a big old Ashes series and there's going to be, I think I've heard on so many different numbers and different podcasts, but there's going to be a big old number of obviously the Barmy Army going, but a lot of kind of England supporters. I think I've got a couple of friends I know going. towards the end for the Sydney game. I think there's a couple of whippets going potentially, which is exciting. Obviously, a big series, and obviously the last time I went to Australia, no fans could travel because of COVID and the null and void series, which we don't talk about. But obviously, touring being such a big part of England and England playing away with the Barmy Army, and I used last year you went to New Zealand, which is the exciting thing. So you went to all the games. Was it with the Barmy Army or just
No,
solo?
I was by myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went through to all three games. But the Barmy Armies, the travel is just how they make themselves sustainable, really.
Mm-hmm.
But and like most of the people who take that option are usually slightly older and retired because it's more expensive.
Yeah.
So people around like our age, we most of the time we tend to travel independently,
Mm-hmm.
staying in hostels and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we just join up with the Barmy Army at the ground because all you need to do is look for Finchy the trumpeter, and everyone will be assembled around him
Yeah.
for the morning Jerusalem, obviously, and then throughout the day. Um, so that's how I prefer to do it. The Barmy Army is very welcoming. It's not like they cater only to the paying guests or anything like that.
Yeah.
In fact, I think it's the people who travel independently that bring more of the atmosphere. And at every venue, they'll publish like an HQ, which is a pub. So people will go there at lunch and after play. And it's really quite an experience, to be honest. Like
Mm.
I I think I'm not the best socially. Until I get to know people, then I'm okay.
Yeah.
But I would say it's hard to not meet people. Like
Yeah.
everyone is just so nice that if you're like in and around that kind of area of where all the England fans are, someone will start talking to you. Like if you've got a piece of England kit on, someone will start talking to you. Like it's just a lot of fun. I gave up alcohol, so for me it got more entertaining as the day went on because bloody hell, England fans can drink. Like uh, it was they actually start at like 10 a.m. before play,
Oh, it's
and they
madness.
go on through the day, and the last session is just unreal. Like I'm a bit of a wannabe photographer as well, so I'd always
Hmm.
have my camera with me. And it was the last session was when I got the best shots. It was
Not of the
unhinged.
cricket, but of
I,
Yeah.
I didn't bother with the cricket. The cricket
no,
is
yeah.
unimportant.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I mean, I've only had one experience of like touring. I went to South Africa. I went to Cape Town back in what year was it? The 2009, 2010 tour when Graham Onions drew out that game at the very end, which was really cool. And that was an amazing experience. And the kind of the interaction, I think, with both with obviously Barmy Army people, but also the South African sports as well. I think that was one of the big highlights for me, the kind of integration between both fans I really enjoyed. Um, was it always New Zealand you wanted to go to, or was it just worked out
Yeah.
well?
Well, New Zealand was a huge motivating factor. Like the first time I toured, there was 2023, the two test matches, Mount Maunganui and Wellington, including
Mm.
the one run defeat, which is the I was there for that live. That was
Oh wow.
interesting. Yeah, that was an exhilarating chase. But
Yeah.
that was the first time I'd toured with the Barmy Army like properly. I mean, I'd
Mm.
been to the Netherlands for those 3 one-dayers in
Oh really? Oh, wow. Yeah.
2022 when we scored 498. But
Yeah.
that's not really the same thing, really. Test tour is a completely different vibe.
Yeah.
And actually saw a TV show on Netflix with Baz McCallum and Phil Tufnell called This Could Go Anywhere. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's
No, I did
basically
not.
the two of them traveling across New Zealand playing golf.
Okay.
Um, Great fun, very entertaining. So after I watched that show, I just was like, I have to go to New Zealand. I really want
Yeah.
to go to New Zealand. So that's when I went for that first time in
Mm.
2023 and had a really good time. And
Yeah.
but I didn't really get any time to do anything New Zealand. I was just at the cricket because literally the day I landed a cyclone hit Auckland, and I was confined to my hotel room for 3 days.
Nice.
And yeah, that basically wrote off any touristy things I had planned, like Hobbiton and stuff like that, was all out of the window.
Yeah.
And then between the two tests, the 3 day break, I felt a bit sick. So like
Yeah.
not sick enough that it would dampen the trip, but sick enough that I couldn't go out and do touristy things.
Yeah.
So that was a bit annoying. So right there on that trip, I was like, okay, we're coming back for 3 test matches next year. I'm doing that trip, and I'm
Yeah.
doing it properly. I'm doing cricket and touristy stuff. So yeah, I think the country played a huge role in me traveling for the cricket. It's just probably one of my favorite places to visit. The people are just unbelievably nice. Um, yeah, it was a fantastic experience. Like there's this day at the Basin Reserve in Wellington when I was so it's all grass banks, right? So
Which is the
which
best. I
is
think that's the best kind of cricket. I
yeah,
love that. Yeah.
which is another huge positive thing about New Zealand is because I don't think anywhere else in the world has Test cricket with grass banks and general admission, which almost makes it look like feel like club cricket, but you're watching Test
Yeah.
matches. So I was walking across the grass banks to go and get something to eat, and I came to the end when I had to go down, and there's an over in progress something. I had to stay up there for a few minutes, and the three Kiwi guys, completely drunk, and they just got chatting to me. Like I had my big camera with me. They just got chatting to me. I don't know how this happened, but about a minute later, one of them had taken my camera off me, and the other two had picked me up on their shoulders, and the other guy was taking a photograph of me on his mate's shoulders. I was like, "What's going? I have no idea
Yeah.
what's going on here." It's just yeah, they are just the nicest people in the world,
Oh man.
and it's the most beautiful country in the world. So
Yeah.
it was quite an experience touring there. The cricket was always fantastic. It was I think England and New Zealand are the teams get on with each other as well, which
Yeah.
makes it
Good natured.
yeah, makes it a bit of a unique spectacle compared to like India or Australia series where the teams don't quite get on with each other. So yeah, it was amazing, and I think the other thing for me was I've given up on watching Test cricket in England because it's too expensive.
Oh, we'll
So
get to that. I've got some notes.
yeah, so for me to go out to New Zealand was also a way to combine having a holiday with actually watching Test cricket without going bankrupt.
Yeah.
So
So I yeah.
instead of spending a few hundred quid at Lords, I'll just spend a few grand and go to the other end of the
Oh
world.
yeah. Goodness me. Like just I've done. If James got any questions to ask about touring, but like for the just a general one day with the tickets, did you buy that the whole tests in one go, or do you say general admission, or do you just buy on the day?
General admission by a full test match pass ahead of time. So
Okay.
they did actually sell out because England tours are quite lucrative because
Yeah.
England fans like to travel. So we were told that they are likely to sell out. So I just got in there as soon as they went on sale
Nice.
and nabbed full test match passes for all 3 games. Because I know some guys turned up expecting to be able to buy tickets on the day
Yeah. Sure.
and
Yeah.
uh, we're like, wait, what? It's sold out? I've come all the
Yeah.
way from England.
Yeah. And if you don't mind not sharing, do you know how much the test pass was, or how much it would have worked out a test from memory?
Uh, I remember for all 3 test matches put together after currency conversion, it was around about 210 quid. So
210 quid for 3 games
yeah,
in
so that
all
would be
5 days,
yeah, about 70 quid a game.
and that's all 5 days, which is I think is
Yeah,
nuts.
yeah.
So, um, that's just nuts. So just to comparatively, Lords, for example, if you wanted to go to day one of the India test this year and you fancied getting a nice splashing out on the ticket, that would set you back £175. So that's for yeah, one day of cricket at Lords in decent seats is basically nearly all the tour of New Zealand test matches, basically.
And you don't even get the lunch.
I
Yeah.
no, yeah,
Yeah.
you don't get those people. Goodness
And
me.
the food at New Zealand grounds is also really good. They get local food trucks to
Nice.
cater, and it's not the cheapest, but it's reasonably priced, and the food's really good. Like, I at no point did I ever contemplate taking food to the ground myself. I just buy something
Yeah.
while I was there. But if I was going for cricket in England, I'd always take food with me because even at Lord's,
Yeah.
uh, it's
It's
stupid expensive, stupidly long queues, and it's just average. The
it's
food,
just it
really.
is. It just is yeah, and you have all it's just so I feel like cricket in England has just got more and more just like depressing. So we've been to a few
Mm.
games, me and Jamie,
Mhm.
but like you have like going you have to take your own food because it comes to lunch and like you say, you get down to the kind of food area, especially at Lord's, and it's already just a mosh pit of people just to get to like get a burger and chips, which is just very averagely made. Or you have all the people who like leave the sessions early. So it's like there's 10 minutes to go to lunch and you have this like massive swarm of people leave just so they can get their lunch. And it's just, yeah, it just becomes really depressing. And then you're spending a fortune on that after you spend a fortune on tickets. Um, I can't remember last tickets I bought for just Lords or like the Oval, which hasn't been like the restricted view section or like the very top because like I said, if you wanted a decent ticket for that India test, the cheapest one without restricted view is £120, and I just feel like that's too much money.
Yeah, it's all a bit ridiculous. And I mean, the first time I ever went to Lords was 2016,
Mm.
England Sri Lanka day 3.
Same.
Uh, I was in the Compton stand, lower tier, and the ticket was 50 quid.
Yeah.
And I think that's reasonable. Like, and that was 2016, so not that long ago.
No.
It's just detonated recently.
Yeah. It's absolutely nuts. I think I did a similar thing because I had a random day off. I think I went for the first day. I think my Bairstow got 100 against Sri Lanka. That's kind of all I remember. And I think I remember, yeah, I think it's about 60 quid. And I just went during the week and I was able to get that ticket 2 days before. Whilst now you have to go through all these kind of ballot systems. You don't even know if you're going to get a ticket. And it's just not a funny, scenario. And you have that kind of horrible images from a couple of years ago when they had the Sri Lanka test and like day 4 was pretty much empty. Um, and then them coming back being like, oh yeah, we'll look at prices, we'll include it, we'll make sure it's improved and stuff, and it just keeps going up. I think I've read somewhere that the ODI prices for India this summer are 190 quid, I think, which for an ODI is just absurd. And I just like it just like I think like you say, Aisha, I think it kind of puts me off going. Um, I'd much more prefer to actually go and travel and go to a different ground rather than go to a London one, just because it's just non-accessible. And it's especially for people who, if you're trying to attract new people into cricket, you've got no chance getting them to go see a game. Like I remember growing up, I went to go see Hussein's last test, when he got his 100 and finished off his career, and that's when like kids could go in free and adult tickets were like 20 quid, and like that experience kind of maybe just propelled me a bit into like loving cricket. But now I don't think I'd get that experience because it wouldn't be affordable. It's just, yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know why I was
exactly.
rambling, but yeah.
I remember the journalist Jared Kimber saying that if he'd grown up in England, he probably wouldn't have got into cricket, and if he was
Yeah,
growing up in England now, he definitely wouldn't have got into cricket
no
just
way.
Mhm.
because of the cost. It's a bit of a joke because I mean, when India and Australia come over, they can pretty much charge whatever the hell they want, and people will pay it, which I think is sad.
Yeah,
Um, it's
exactly.
just milking the fans really, and it's not
Yeah,
good for the long term health of the game.
no.
Like, it's just sad that the moment um, I think the game gets like a foothold, they just try to milk the customers. They treat us customers, not even fans. I think because
Yeah.
I think it was 3 years ago. I saw England versus India women's ODI at Lords
Mm,
for 25 quid, which
yeah,
was 20 quid cheaper than a Blast game. I'm like,
yeah,
why the hell would I go see the Blast when I can see a full international for cheaper?
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Absolutely. It's just,
And like,
yeah. Of
so it can be done. Like, I mean, I know
course
the
it
women's
can.
game's probably making a loss, but it doesn't need to be such a big difference between the men's game and the women's game.
Absolutely not. No way. I mean, it'd be quite interesting to see how, because the women's T20 World Cup, I think in England next summer. I'm not really sure how the prices are for that because I think that will be
Uh,
run by the ICC more than ECB.
Yeah, I can check that
So
for you. I've got England versus New Zealand at the Oval for that
yeah,
World Cup. I can just look up the
nice.
price. What
Sounds
did I
good.
pay for it? It wouldn't have been something stupid, because if it was something stupid,
No,
I
yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
have paid it.
Well, yeah, because I
Uh,
remember because I went to a couple of games in the 2019 World Cup and I was able to go to Lords, went to Headingley as well, and all the prices were just pretty much the same across the grounds, just because it
yeah,
wasn't run by ECB, which is great.
yeah. This is 40 quid. So I've got
Which is
gold
yeah,
tier adult. I don't
yeah,
know. I don't remember if gold is highest or there's something below, above it. But it's gold tier, 40 quid.
which is what I'd pay for. I'd pay 40. I'd pay 40 to 60 quid. I think for an international game. I think that's completely fair.
Yeah, for a World
'Cause
Cup game,
yeah,
T20, I think that's about right.
yeah, then that sounds great. But I think it's like you say as well when it comes to England versus Australia or India, you see every summer they manage to shoehorn in either another Test series or a white ball series
Mm.
every time just to try and get that extra bit of revenue. Like there doesn't need to be a white ball series against India this summer, but there is because they can then charge 190 quid a ticket at Lords, which is fun. But I looked elsewhere at other grounds just to see the comparison. So um it's slightly better at other places, but it's still not great. So I think this is at Edgbaston, if I remember rightly, or no, so this is at Trent Bridge. I think the cheapest ticket you can get at Trent Bridge is £60, which I think is I would pay that for a test. The highest is 150, but that's the kind of real kind of best seats. So between 60 and 150 within that bracket, and you're not starting at the 150 bracket, which I think is the most important thing. But then I think I saw Glamorgan for the same ODI series that Lords are paying 190 quid for. I think you can get tickets for the Cardiff game for about 60 quid. So to me, it just feels ridiculous that what you're paying that extra, £130 for just for a ground. I just find it absolutely absurd. I don't know if Jamie, you've got any fun thoughts on that.
Well, I was just looking at the Cheltenham Town ticket prices just to
Okay.
compare football to cricket and see what that's like. And you can get the next Cheltenham game against Bristol Rovers starts from £7.50.
Yeah.
And you can get into the ground an hour or so before kickoff, have some food,
Mhm.
have some drinks, go to the club store or
Yeah.
whatever. So you're probably there 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And so if you were to like lengthen that out to what a full cricket game would be, I think that's probably cheaper and probably better value.
Yeah.
Not if you're watching Cheltenham, but
No, it would do very well this season. But no, yeah, completely. And it's definitely, I think, mostly an England thing as well. Because I did look at Australia tickets because for a moment of madness, I was like, could I go this winter? Answer's no. But there was like the tickets like in Adelaide and stuff. They weren't crazy. Like I think they were in that kind of similar kind of Trent Bridge ballpark between the 60 and £150, which I think if I was going there for the Ashes, I would pay like to see a couple of days at that price. I think like if you're looking between just under 100 quid. So I find especially Lords and the London grounds, less so the Oval, but they're still not great. It just it ticket prices just completely wind me up, especially when you don't have cricket on terrestrial TV either. You just make the game so blocked off from everyone else. It's one of my biggest pet peeves, and I love cricket, but that's the thing I absolutely hate most about it. Is mostly how it's shared in England. I knew this would be a ranty one with you, Ayush,
Yeah,
about ticket
yeah,
pricing.
yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. It's of all the talk with the ECB with the like make the game to spread the game, make it more inclusive and stuff. And
Yeah,
I think until you solve the score issue of actually allowing people to come to the game without
yeah,
having to take a second mortgage out, uh, I think it's gonna remain a problem. And
massively.
yeah, the discrepancy between Lords and the Oval and the rest of the country just shows you it can be done.
Of course, you can.
And yeah, I guess I don't know. Controversial opinion. Lord's atmosphere is really not that great.
No,
It's really not.
yeah,
uh, I've
yeah,
been there a few times now, and I'm like, yeah, I don't really fancy going back there. Like the Oval is a way better atmosphere.
for sure. Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. Yeah, there's. I think it's always fun going to Lords. I think as like to get there's your Lords experience. It's obviously such a history and all that kind of stuff, but you compare that to somewhere like Edgbaston and the Holly Stand, after tea on day one, they're completely different in terms of atmospheres. So yeah, no, I agree. And also you have something like the 100 where they really build it as like, this is going to be a great way to get young kids into the game, and they're going to be cheaper ticket prices and stuff. And then suddenly, I think 2 or 3 years on, you're looking at similar prices to what the Blast is, or if not more, for people. And it's like, well, there goes that accessibility. So that's cool. But yeah, on the happier stuff, in terms of touring, is there anywhere else you would fancy going?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to collect all the test countries, but I think that might be a little bit tricky. Yeah, I'm not sure I actually fancy an Ashes tour. Like, if you just look at all the build up to this tour, you can see that it's quite brutal for the players.
Yeah.
And I know from like just talking to folks who've toured with the Barmy Army and stuff, it's great fun, but it's very intense. Like, it's the banter with the Aussies is quite full on.
Yeah.
From both, and this is not, I'm not saying like the Aussies are pretty full on. Both sides get pretty full on with Chan. It's all good nature and stuff, but it does get a bit much. So I'm not entirely sure I fancy an Ashes tour, but I think South Africa and West Indies would be two that I would really like. South Africa, I'm just slightly reticent because of the crime rate and stuff, and I'm not the most street smart person in that regard. Again, another reason why I like New Zealand so much. Everyone speaks English and it's super safe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think West Indies would be a good one. I think I think Grenada, Guyana, I think I've been told is the best one
Nice.
from all those islands.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the next winter I think we're at South Africa. So I don't know, I might think about it. But
yeah, I would recommend Cape Town. Cape Town's brilliant. I mean, it's just in terms I can't speak for the rest of the tour, but I've always wanted to do somewhere like Port Elizabeth and Centurion and stuff. But yeah, Cape Town's obviously one of the most iconic with the Table Mountain and everything. It's the best for me personally. But I just also love the quality of cricket in South Africa. I just love the fast pace and the wickets and stuff. I think it's great to watch. Jamie, where would you like to go?
For cricket specifically, I think
Cheltenham?
West Indies. Yeah, Cheltenham. Cheltenham's great. I mean, I'm jealous of Ayush for having gone to New Zealand and specifically Hobbiton.
Massively.
So yeah, New Zealand. If I have to go watch cricket as my second option for going to New Zealand, then I'll make that sacrifice. I
guess so.
But, like Windies would be cool as well.
Yeah.
Just to like see the vibe there, listen to some reggae.
Beach cricket.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be a proper vibe. India would be fun as well, because you could immerse yourself in the culture as well as the cricket.
So, yeah, we didn't discuss India, did we? I did go. I was there for the first 2 days of the Hyderabad test. Was it last year now? Yeah, it's last year, wasn't it?
Oh, really? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I was meant to do the full test, but leaving that tour for personal reasons was all the vogue. Everyone was doing it, so I did as well. Left after 2 days instead of staying the whole test. But in my defense, we turned the game around as soon as I left. So it's all me. Nothing to do with the actual team.
Exactly. Yeah, that was the superstition. That's why.
Yeah, but I wouldn't recommend India as a tour. Like, I'm surprised they let you enter the ground wearing the clothes you have on. Like, I mean, sunscreen and battery packs were contraband. People were sneaking that stuff in. Like, it was just a bit ridiculous. Obviously no food, no drink, nothing is allowed in. The food inside, the hygiene is fairly suspect. After 2 days I had enough, to be honest.
I bet.
In typical India fashion, everything is a bit more complicated than it should be. Like, I'd book the tickets online, and but the online ticket is not what you use to get into the ground. So the day before the test, you have to go to a different location from the stadium and pick up paper tickets from there, which will then get you into the ground. So I landed in Hyderabad and checked into my hotel, and the first thing I did was take a taxi to this other location, pick up my paper ticket so I could actually get into the ground the next day.
Okay,
Oh my
so maybe
goodness.
not India as a tour
Yeah.
option then.
Maybe put that down the pecking order a wee bit. Wow, that's crazy. Madness. I think we're running out a little bit of time, but I think Jamie has prepared a little bit of a quiz for you just before we finish off. We've got our last
All
few
right.
minutes.
Yeah. So instead of
Um,
subjecting you to the chaos of our usual not crick,
if you're not
I
aware, Ayush, normally we talk about cricket for inanely for about 40 minutes. Then Jamie brings out a not cricket section, which is most normally it's Manchester United or something Lord of the Rings related. 9 times out of 10, but we're not
Okay.
yeah.
doing that this week.
No, I want to try and start a new tradition for when we have a guest on.
Yeah.
So I've come up with 5 questions because the 6th question I would usually want the guest to ask for the next guest. But
Okay.
instead, that's going to be where I subject you to my chaos.
And they're going to be quick fire.
They're going to be quickfire. You can try and answer them quickfire if you want, and we can see how it goes. So, what is your first cricketing memory?
Ooh. I think playing or watching.
Yes.
Either both, maybe.
Okay. Watching is the 2002 NatWest final, India versus England at Lord's, which India nicked at the end.
Yeah.
And I was still, I was a kid. I grew up in India, so I was still living in India, still supporting India at the time. I switched loyalties 10 years ago. England through and through now. But yeah, back then I was supporting India, and I remember staying well up past my bedtime to watch the conclusion of that game. My parents were
Classic.
out. Yeah, my parents were out, so my grandparents let me stay up. And I remember naively the next morning when my mom woke me up for school. I asked her who won the game, and she's like, "Oh, come on, we know you were up." uh,
Can't miss that game.
That's great.
and then yeah, playing just a lot of playground cricket, rubber ball cricket with my friends from the apartment building where I grew up. Um, yeah, just flashes of hitting a rubber ball and trying not to break the windows on people's cars, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, same, but I wasn't playing cricket.
No, it's
So,
cool.
next, what piece of media or what activity are you currently enamored with?
Ooh, I'm obsessed with the show called Pluribus. That counts as media, so I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I
go
really want to
one of.
watch that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm a huge Breaking Bad and Better Call
hmm
Saul fan. So when the show was picked up like 3 years ago, I had my eye out for it, and it's 3 episodes in. I'm hooked and obsessed.
Yeah, I want to watch it just for Vince Gilligan's story and whatever he's cooked up. Yeah. So, if you weren't involved in cricket or cricket wasn't your first love, what other sport or activity would you be involved in?
Um, Probably football. I was an obsessive Man United fan for many years. It was only really like the mid 2010s, yeah, the mid 2010s when money started really taking hold of football, and then the final straw was when Jose Mourinho became Man United manager. I was like, wait, really? Like, no.
Yeah, we could
So
talk for
yeah.
another hour about that.
Yeah.
What meal or drink always brightens your mood?
Ooh, um, anything Asian fried. I'm gonna go with fried rice.
Great choice. What's the thing on your bucket list that you're most excited to do, complete, whatever?
Ooh, I don't really have a bucket list. Put me on the spot there. Go to West Indies. Let's say go
Yeah,
to West Indies.
good one.
And seamlessly, we're going to go straight into the last question.
The final
No
question,
break.
yeah, which I would usually have our guest ask from the previous appearance, but seeing as we've only had one guest before and I had this idea a couple of weeks ago, and I've been busy and couldn't be bothered to ask Connor what he wanted to ask, I am subjecting you to my chaos. What is your top 5 fruit?
My top 5 fruits.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Uh, uh, banana, apple, grape, orange, strawberry. Does
Well,
strawberry count as a fruit? I'm counting it.
yeah. I feel
Sure.
like you
Yeah.
just named 5 fruit, but I'll trust
Yeah.
you.
I mean,
So, do you have an idea of what you might want to ask our next guest, or do you want us
Um,
to leave you
yeah,
to
actually,
stew in it?
I have a quiz question that I've
Yeah,
had in my back pocket for years and years and years, and I'm gonna take this moment to let it out.
let's have it. I love
Um,
it.
which was the only team in the 2010 Football World Cup that ended undefeated?
that's a good
Oh,
question.
I like that.
I
I
wouldn't know.
think I know the answer,
I wouldn't.
and I don't want to say it
Because
because
Spoil
we
it for
have
our
to
next
ask it.
guest.
Yeah,
yeah, because
Okay, cool.
Spain won the World Cup, but they lost a group stage game.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah. If I say any
that's a
more,
good
I think yeah, that's a great question. I love it.
that's a good pub quiz question. To be fair.
Hmm.
Yeah. But I will also call the title of this pod "Top Five Fruits."
How can you not?
I usually mentioned. So, do you not follow Manchester United anymore, or was that? Do you follow them
Not
still?
really, not anymore. I mean, I'm vaguely aware if they pop up in the news about how rubbish they are these days, but I couldn't tell you the last time I watched a Man United game beginning to end.
Fair.
Yeah, it's just I've lost interest in football just because of it's the billionaires. It's basically become like a billionaires plaything. So
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't really interest me that much anymore. Like when I remember when I started watching football, like 100 grand a week wage was like, oh my god, that's ridiculous. And now it's
Yeah.
like 500,000 a week, and I mean, like it's just ridiculous. Like people shouldn't be paid that much for
No.
kicking a ball around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I
But yeah.
remember when I was younger, I was watching games from all other countries and leagues. Like La Liga was pretty readily available, and now you have to like go through Amazon Prime to get a different
Yeah.
subscription to get that. And it sort of just slowly wears you down to either you follow one team or not at all. And you just kind of
Yeah.
lose love of the sport when it gets so commercialized.
For
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, yeah, like 10 years ago, you paid for Sky Sports, you got everything.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
got Premier League, you got all cricket, you got Champions League, you got US Open, Australian Open, anything of note you
Yeah.
got. And now it's all just fragmented
Yeah.
between Sky, TNT, and
Mhm.
It's so
Amazon and
difficult.
whatnot. Yeah.
And
Yeah. Like
you don't even get everything, sorry, Matt,
no.
because of the 3 p.m. blackout, you can't even
Mm.
watch every Premier League game. And like they're not you're lucky if a football league game is on TV. Like they Cheltenham were on TV last week, but I can't remember the last time they would have been at all. Like
Yeah.
it just seems like an afterthought.
Yeah. I always find the same, almost similar with cricket. Like
Mhm.
whenever there's like a tour upcoming, I just feel like, what's it going to be on? And I feel like there's no rhyme or reason. Obviously, just their bidding wars, but like the tour between India and South Africa happening now is that going to be on Sky? No, it's not on Sky. Oh, I guess it's on TNT, that
Yeah.
kind of stuff,
And
or whatever. Yeah,
Sky have basically given up on anything except for England's home summer,
yeah,
ICC tournaments, and the IPL.
yeah,
That's it. Everything else is usually on TNT now,
yeah.
which is
Which
yeah,
yeah,
bit of a shame. I mean, I have TNT for these 2 months just for the Ashes, but I'm not going to keep
yeah.
it beyond that.
No, absolutely. Yeah, it's just exhausting.
Mm. Mm.
Oh dear. Jamie, can you finish off the podcast in a happy way? We kind of went back down into the
Happy way.
something
Uh,
positive about the Ashes, Jamie. Something
something.
positive about the Ashes.
Oh no. Do you guys think dungeons are like exclusively underground, or can they be above ground to be defined as a dungeon? I'm sorry, I said I wouldn't subject you to my chaos of not Crit Ayush, but here we
Um,
are.
I think I think being underground has to be a prerequisite. Like,
Yeah, surely.
yeah, I don't think you could have a second floor dungeon. That just doesn't sound right to me.
What was your thought process? Where did that come from?
I was talking with a friend about this earlier,
Okay.
we haven't seen each other in like a few weeks, and I don't know,
Yeah.
it was just the kind of thing we talk about.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Fine.
But like, you can say underground dungeon, so you are specifying that it's underground, implying that you can have above ground dungeon.
I just would say dungeon.
Yeah, I've never heard the phrase
I don't know.
underground
Underground dungeon.
dungeon
I might have
before.
just made that up right now on the
Potentially.
spot. Who knows?
Just on the just. Well, good old times. But no, thank you for coming on,
Oh,
Ayush.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate you're always yeah.
nice to be on the podcast. Nice to have a
You're
rant about ticket prices.
it's great, yeah. It's always fun. It just let it out. It's a good place to let it out. I mean, like I said,
Yeah.
Jamie always lets plenty out when it comes to United or something like that, which is always fun.
Not
Or
always.
Rings of Power. But yeah, you're welcome back. If maybe we'll do like a post Ashes post mortem at some point if we
Yeah,
wanted to rant further.
Yeah, I'd love to come back anytime. Always up for nerding about cricket.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what we're here for, isn't it, Jamie?
Yeah. Do you have any socials to plug or?
I'm on Blue Sky, ayushn21.bsky.social. I occasionally post about cricket on there,
Yeah.
but that's really the only social I use.
Yeah. It's a nicer space for
I might
social.
I posted on there quite heavily while I was out in New Zealand, and now with the
Yeah.
Ashes starting, I might ramp that back up just as an outlet for
Yeah. I feel like
how England are doing.
yeah, like I feel like I'm getting up at like 5 a.m. tomorrow, and I feel like I'm not gonna have anyone to outlet it to, so I'll probably be on the blue sky at the same time, just when Crawley snicked off.
I mean, you guys have fun. I'm gonna sleep.
Sleep. But no, very good. Jamie, in terms of socials, where can people find us?
Just
As
not
you know what you're
CritPod,
doing.
Instagram, Blue Sky, TikTok, YouTube, podcast places.
All podcast places. It should hopefully be up before the Ashes. This is the problem I use with our podcast and cricket podcasts. You do one podcast and immediately it's out of date when the next day starts with cricket.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I feel like we've covered other ground. But yeah, thank you for listening. If you made it this far, appreciate it. Thank you again to Ayush. Thank you, Jamie. We'll be back whenever the first test finishes, which could be Saturday or it could be Tuesday. Who knows?
So Monday?
So Monday, cool. We'll see you on Monday.
Okay.